Jai Shri Ram Thought Capsule series. Now let us look at these interesting concepts. The concept of moral rigor. Now, moral rigor simply would mean strength of the reasoning in some moral principle. Now, let's take a simple example: animal sacrifice. Now, to me, it doesn't make any sense, because if God is the Father and who has created everyone, why would the Father want one of his children to slit the necks of another of his children and offer that as a sacrifice to satisfy him? Now, it doesn't make any sense. So, the whole idea of animal sacrifice does not have any moral rigor in it. So, similarly, another simple example can be taken. People say that God made us in His image. Now, again, this also concept does not stand up to reasoning, stand up to questioning. It lacks moral rigor for the simple reasoning that if God made us, and if God made us in His own image, then we should be perfect, because a perfect God will not make anything imperfect. Why would He make anything imperfect at all? A perfect God would not do that. So, it is difficult to imagine why God made us imperfect. The fact is, we are imperfect. Therefore, if you look at the Vedas and the Bhagavad Gita, which is the summary of the Vedas, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidya Anadi Ubhavapi. Krishna says Prakriti and Purusha are Anadi, that means eternal. Prakriti means nature, Purusha means the Jivatma, that is the individual soul. Now, the word soul is again a Christian concept, because in Christianity, soul applies only to human beings. In the Abrahamic religions, animals don't have a soul at all. So, now that is again a very interesting conundrum. So, how do you know that animals don't have a soul is a simple question for which they can't answer. They will only have to stick to some kind of a dogma that the holy book says so, and that is it, that's the end of the matter. Whereas we Hindus would not accept something which does not appeal to our reasoning, right? So, questioning everything is part of the Hindu psyche. So, that is why, anyway, Krishna says, Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyanadi Ubhavapi. Veda also says there are three eternities. The three eternities are nature, Jivatma, that is Purusha. Now, Purusha does not mean male. Purusha is the Sanskrit term for the Atma. That is, the body could be male or female. So, Purusha and Parama Purusha or Uttama Purusha, that is the Supreme Lord, that is Krishna, Rama or Brahman in the Vedas. So, these three are eternal, which means these three are parallel lines. God has not created nature, God has not created the Atma, but God has full control on both. This is the Vedic idea, right? Now, this is morally sound. This is morally sound. Since God has not created us, we are actually eternal companions of each other. But we are flawed, and we can get over our flaws by getting back into the friendship and companionship of Krishna or Rama. So, that's the whole idea. So, study Bhagavad Gita and understand the categorical imperatives. Categorical imperative basically means an absolute moral law. The concept is taken from Immanuel Kant, a great philosopher. Categorical imperative basically means an absolute moral law which applies to everyone. Purva Paksha is the next thought capsule. In English, due diligence comes close. Purva Paksha means studying the other. That means, as a Hindu, you should study other religions also in order to be able to debate sensibly. Comprehensive analysis. And then, due diligence can be done, financial due diligence, economic due diligence, for any decision that you take. This phrase due diligence basically means that you are undertaking a comprehensive analysis. And finally, the final thought capsule: once you understand Sanatana Dharma, you will realize that others are still in the kindergarten of religion. This is a quote of Ramakarya Dhurandhar. Jai Shri Ram.